Bob, the story of a Jewish rabbi who converted to Islam because of food. Hidayah can come to anyone and in whatever way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes. Like the journey of a former Jewish priest who recently converted to Islam because he learned about the concept of halal food in Islam. This story was told by the high priest of the New York mosque, Ustaz Shamsi Ali, as can be found on his official YouTube account. The convert was named Bob, who lived in New York. Bob was a priest, but not like other Jewish priests who served in the synagogue to guide the congregation. There was a special task for Bob when he was still a pastor. Ustaz Shamsi explained that Bob used to be a priest who was in charge of supervising food in Jewish shops so that it complies with Jewish legal regulations, or what is known as kosher. Bob will ensure with great care and attention that every food sold in Jewish stores meets the standards required by Jewish law. For example, according to kosher standards, a Jew cannot consume food made from a mixture of meat and milk, or eat meat and drink milk. He explained that this was an act that was strictly prohibited in Jewish law regarding food and drink. One time, Bob came to a study class led by Ustaz Shamsi Ali. In that class, Bob asked a lot about food laws from an Islamic perspective, or about halal and haram food. At that time, I didn't know that Bob was a rabbi or priest who was in charge of supervising kosher food in Jewish shops. Then we discussed how halal food is processed, what the arguments are in the Quran and Sunnah, said Ustaz Shamsi Ali. Bob and Ustaz Shamsi Ali also discussed a lot about the laws of eating pork and drinking alcohol. Bob said that according to Jewish kosher rules, drinking alcohol can be considered haram if the alcohol consumed is of a type that has not been blessed by Jewish priests. However, the law has changed, or it is permissible to drink alcohol when it has been blessed by a priest, even though the alcohol is intoxicating. After a lengthy discussion, including Bob listening to an explanation of food and drink from an Islamic perspective, he learned about halal and haram foods and the process according to Islamic rules. From there, Bob began to discover the features of Islamic teachings. Bob even considers that Islamic teachings are in accordance with what the Torah teaches, even more perfect. From there, he was very interested in studying Islam more deeply. The long story short is that Bob studied Islam for 2 to 3 months, and finally, thank God, converted to Islam, said Ustaz Shamsi Ali. After becoming a convert, Bob now has a new activity. With his talent in mechanics, Bob now keeps his days busy as an employee at an electronics shop in New York. We pray that Bob will be consistent and become a preacher, he said.